in this kind of parallel position with your arms wherever they need to be in order to make it work. Yeah. Turn, and then a jump, which is going to be a little bit odd, but it's going to take off your right foot. Yeah, so you take off your right foot and your left foot goes behind. Bum, bum. Yes. So you hold that. Ideally, you'll be lying in the air. Yeah? High up in the air, holding it as though you're going to crash on your knees, but you just put it down. Please do put it down in time. Yeah? Bum, bum.
And welcome, everybody, to the Kiosk Presents, proudly serving Buffalo and all of Western New York. You know, we love going Hollywood, and we love talking to stars and famous people from around the world. And today's no exception, because we have with us Nigel Lithgow, Michael Nunn, and Billy Trevitt. And Nigel, of course, you recognize his name instantly because he is the producer of So You Think You Can Dance, and a judge, and producer of American Idol. Thank you, by the way, for bringing American Idol to us. We love the show. We love So You Think You Can Dance. But Nigel, Michael, Billy, welcome to the Kiosk Presents.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And I got to tell you something. As well as everybody, you know, Michael, nobody knows you quite yet on the scene, I don't think, because choreographers aren't, their faces don't come out, but they write all that poetry behind the scene. And Billy, probably the same thing. But Nigel, everybody knows you. And they know you as the good guy, and because you really are a good guy. When I watch So You Think You Can Dance, you're definitely a good guy. So where did Nasty Nigel come from?
Well, Nasty Nigel was, I started back in 2000 in the UK on a program called Pop Stars. And I was a little tough, shall we say. I was probably the first tough judge at that point on television. And I'd say things like, it was a singing competition, I'd say things like, well, you sang all the right notes, but I think you put them in the wrong order. You know, they were just lines. They were vaudeville lines, for goodness sake. And the tabloid press there called me Nasty Nigel because they like alliteration in my country.
Absolutely. Well, you know, you're so busy. If it weren't, you know, you got your hands in so many interesting projects that if you didn't have a British accent, we think you're Warren Buffett or something, okay? So it's very cool to see all the things you're working on. And your newest project, Chance to Dance, which premieres Friday, August 17th at 10 p.m. on Ovation Network, you're the producer of that show, too. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. And it's not so much a competition show, more of a challenge show, because the reality is when you audition for anything, and this is auditioning for a company, that in itself is the competition. And I asked Michael and Billy here to come along to America and form a dance company here. They'd done it in many other countries around the world. Their background is they're both Royal Ballet soloists. They were dancing there for 12 years. And so we didn't just want a classical company. We wanted them to use all of the sort of styles of dance that are here in the States. What I didn't tell them originally was they had 28 days to do it in and produce a piece of work for the Dizzy Feet Foundation Gala in New York, and they accepted it.
That's exciting.
And had a great time.
Yeah. Well, Michael and Billy, choreographers, you know, that's like poets for the human body or something. I mean, for the average person, comprehending what choreographers do and creating all the moves and the lines for the dancers and all that. Tell us about the challenges there.
Well, for this particular challenge, it was extremely heightened because of the short amount of time. Normally, to choreograph a number like that may take us 4 to 6 months. We had 28 days, and that was after spending a couple of weeks finding the actual dancers. So what it meant was we really had to rely on the people that we chose to be creative, and we were very, very lucky. There was a lot of talent out there.
Now, will this be a judge? You'll be the judges on the show also?
We're the judges and the jury, yeah, because basically the show follows our journey from finding the dancers, rehearsing the dancers, costuming the dancers, and putting the show on. And on the way, we have to make some judgment calls. Some people don't quite come up to the mark and they have to go home, which was hard because we became very close to these dancers. I mean, they all want it so badly.
So A Chance to Dance is a 7-part series, the goal of which is to find the best of the best for a new dance company. Is that how this works?
That's absolutely right, yeah. We looked at every different style we could find. We went to all sorts of extraordinary places looking for dancers, and I think we came back with some really talented individuals.
The remarkable thing, Don, about this country is people will come along without any training whatsoever. In England, if you put out that you're forming a company and you want dancers, only trained dancers will come along. If you haven't trained in dancing, you'd be crazy to go along, they would think. But here, because there is such passion for dancing, and because these kids spend so much time in their bedrooms articulating every single joint of their body and doing incredible things nowadays, it's so sort of gymnastic and athletic, that they will come along and say, I want this job. I really want to do it. And I think that's what was outstanding, wasn't it, Michael?
That's worth more than a lot of training, you know. Yeah. If somebody really wants to do it for you, and we had a few people there that say, look, I don't care about the TV cameras. When the TV cameras have gone to bed, I'm back in the studio. And you just think, well, I have to give you a chance.
Yeah, and that entertainment factor is really important, more important sometimes than technique, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. It's the only thing you're looking for in an audition, especially with such a short space of time. We've no time to train up a promising individual. We just need charisma and ability. And that's exactly what we were looking for.
Dance is about entertainment. I think quite often, especially in the ballet world,
it becomes elitism.
You can forget, and there's a distance between the audience and the performer. If I go to the theatre to see dance, I want to be entertained. Otherwise, I want my money back.
And I think that's why it's become so successful here in America. Dancing with the Stars, So You Think You Can Dance, America's Best Dance Crew. They've all brought entertainment to our screens, you know.
You know, and plus, too, because I'm not much of a dancer, but I sit there with my mouth just agape because I see some of these people. It's like the emotion they express with their form. It's like poetry almost.
I must say, I watched some footage that came back from a chance to dance with my mouth agape too. And let me tell you that it was Billy pole dancing in Washington. Why on earth this came back? Probably from his own private collection, I would have thought.
No, we went to see a pole dancing class. We really were looking everywhere to find the best dancers we could, and I just thought it was too good a chance to turn down.
And wanted to attempt it.
Yeah, leapt up the pole.
You could have kept your trousers on, though.
He took his trousers off.
Well, it's because it's slippy. If you're wearing trousers, it's slippy.
Yeah.
You need bare flesh, let me tell you.
Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us here in Buffalo on the Kiosk Presents. Don't forget, everybody, it's A Chance to Dance premieres Friday, August 17th at 10 p.m. on Ovation Network. Don't miss it. I'll be watching too.
Thank you very much, Don.
So it really needs the... How does this step sound? You know, what noise does that make? And at the moment it's a bit like... That's what I'm hearing, and it needs to have all these beautiful, like... The jeté needs to have a real sort of feeling to it.